Imagine for a second that your ultimate fantasy came true and you had the opportunity to meet me in person. Of course, you'd ask the one question everyone asks me: Gavin, do you like the Fossilizers? And of course, integrity being the cornerstone of my brand, I'd answer honestly, not really. And at that point, you'd be well within your rights to follow up with, then why do you have almost all of them? It's a fair question, but to be honest, we've only just met and you're being a bit pushy and rude. So this conversation is over. While still having robot and alternate modes, fossilizers can be torn apart and used as armour and weapons for other transformers using fossil technology. That's fossilized osteoskeletal shield integration loadout technology. That actually could have been much worse. I could not recommend a fossilizer to anyone. I don't think they're a very successful gimmick. I don't think we'll see them ever again. It feels a little bit forced and a little bit desperate, and yet here we are with almost the entire line. There are three main toys, a few variants and core class variants, which I'm including no matter what the TF Wiki or Hasbro says. Paleotrex is the star of the show, a big Cenobite looking shithead straight out of your nightmares. I do love that head sculpt that pays homage to Optimus Primal's mace in Beast Wars. It even opens up to reveal another wee face. The overall design is obviously unique, and I'm glad about that. The line definitely needs crazy experiments like this, even if they don't hit every time. Pull Paleotrex apart and you can recombine them into this big T-Rex skeleton, which is one of the coolest things you can turn into, really. Well, fossilised remains of a T-Rex skeleton, but don't be pedantic, no one likes it. It does have a hard time standing up in certain poses, but it's hard to argue with that look, and the airbrushed finish is a real winner. And as fossil armour, it's a robot covered in bones. And as I write this script, that does sound incredible, but seeing it, it just doesn't grab me. The one thing I really like is using the head and the chest plate as a mace and shield for Optimus Primal. That's just fantastic. Wingfinger is probably the strangest of the trio, which is odd because I've got so little to say about them. They're as posable as Paleotrex, and that's about all I can really say about the robot mode, other than I like the simplicity of the colour design and the overall sculpt. In the Pterodon mode, Wingfinger's just a fun looking but kind of awkward thing to interact with, like me on Twitter. Again, there just isn't a lot to say about the toy. As armour, like Paleotrex, I appreciate the creativity this affords you, something you don't often get in Transformers, but it just feels half-baked. Rah Ractonite, I'm sorry, he's a little shite. Ractonite should have been a favourite, a chubby knight who turns into a Triceratops. I don't hate it, it's just a bit unremarkable. Your posability is good as ever, the sculpting's great. Why don't I like these that much? I should be articulating this a little better. Triceratops mode is cute, I'll give it that. It's dumpy, I usually keep them in this mode. It gives me a hint of the little smile I expected the whole line would give me. Armour mode, I feel individual parts of Ractonite are almost too big and awkward to do anything fun with the other robots. Still, it does what they advertised. There's a variant of this toy called Tricranius, but Ractonite disappointed me to the point I wasn't going to buy it twice, showing a rare streak of backbone. And maybe that is what annoys me, it's such a cool, unique concept that they kind of coasted on it. It feels like very low-hanging fruit. But we do have some variants. Paleotrex has got two variants, that's Skelevore and Transmutate. Skelevore came packed in with the Netflix spoiler pack with Megatron, and I kinda love him. Just Paleotrex again, but in translucent purple, and that's it. Who can truly argue with that? Everything should be done again in plastic purple. Petition Hasbro today. Transmutate gets a full pass because it's Transmutate. Who would have ever guessed this was going to be something that existed? It's just so well done, a great use of the mold, and it just shows how instantly a colour or a minor sculpt change can turn something fairly mediocre into a screaming nightmare praying for death. Now, folks say that Vertebrake and Dracodon aren't fossilizers because they don't come apart, but if you do include them, it raises the overall average of the set from C to a B. I love the core class toys, and these are great examples. Just small, simple toys, they're fun to transform, they've got distinct modes. For me, they're the standout of all the fossil folks, and I recommend either one, but especially Dracodon because he's electric lime green, and that's something we don't see often. A thing that I do love, and I want to see more of, is what I mentioned earlier. Fossilizers bringing a touch of almost Lego-like creativity and problem solving to the line, letting you make your own variations and your own loadouts. You can even put the parts back together and make larger combiners, and I tell you, I can get absorbed in that process. It's a great puzzle, making use of all the parts to make something that can stand under its own weight. For that, Fossilizers are okay in my book. So that's Fossilizers, a bit pish, some fun to be had if you're a maniac like me and buy lots of them, but overall, they're not toys I can really individually recommend outside of the core class. So I hope you found this review humorous, folks. Hey Repugnus, guess what we're having for dinner?
What?
Spare ribs?
I really don't like you.